City Council meeting will now come to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, honorable city council members, Mayor McCrate, our city treasurer, our deputy clerk, our city attorney, our chief of staff, to our administrative staff that's present, and to our audience, welcome. And also to those that may be viewing tonight's broadcast via our YouTube channel and also our cable channel. Welcome to the City of Romulus City Council regular meeting, and today's date is Monday, May 2nd, 2022. Members of the public wishing to participate in this meeting may do so under the public comment portion of the agenda. Please fill out a request to speak public comment card located on the table in the back of the chambers and hand it to the deputy clerk. Additionally, members of the public who are viewing tonight's meeting via our broadcast channel or YouTube Live can submit their comments to publiccomment@romulusgov.com. And at this time, we will have roll call. Councilwoman Abdo.
She's excused.
Councilman Barden.
Here.
Councilwoman Roscoe.
Here.
Councilwoman Talley.
Here.
Councilman Wadsworth.
Here.
Councilwoman Webb.
Here.
And Councilwoman Williams.
Here.
Mr. Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you, ma'am.
Tonight's regular council meeting agenda is as follows. Number 1, agenda. Number 2, minutes. 3, petitioner. 4, chairperson's report. 5, mayor's report. 6, clerk's report. 7, treasurer's report. 8, public comment. 9, unfinished business. 10, new business. 11, communication. And number 12, adjournment. And a motion would be in order to accept the regular council meeting agenda as presented.
So moved to accept the agenda as presented.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Talley, supported by Ms. Roscoe for approval of the agenda as presented. Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion is approved.
Thank you. Number 2, minutes. Agenda item 2A, for approval are the minutes from the regular meeting held on Monday, April 25th, 2022 at 7:30 p.m.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Wadsworth?
I will move that the minutes from the April 25th, 2022 be approved.
Support.
Been motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Talley, for approval of our minutes from the regular council meeting on the 25th of April at 7:30. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes?
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. Agenda item 2B, for approval are the minutes from the special meeting study sessions held on Monday, April 25th, 2022 at 6 o'clock. The discussion was the Romulus Public Participation Plan as part of the redevelopment ready process. And at 6:30, the discussion was the new legislative maps and its impact to voters. And a motion would be in order to accept the special meeting agendas.
Through the chair,
Minutes.
if I may,
Yes, Ms. Webb?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes.
Support.
Been motion by Ms. Webb, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for approval of a special meeting. Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes?
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. There are no petitioners on the agenda. Takes us to number 4, the chairperson's report.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Tonight, we had a 6:30 meeting. It's for the City of Romulus 2022-23 fiscal year budget. The chairman would like to wish our council person, Tina Talley, a happy birthday. Today is her birthday. And also, I'm going to recognize Ms. Councilwoman Talley to have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Barton. Before I get started with what I wanted to say on your report, I want to do hope I get support for a memorial resolution for First Baptist Church of Romulus, who celebrated their 95th church anniversary yesterday. If I can get that support.
Who supported it?
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Williams.
And just real quick, I just want to just shout out to First Baptist Church. They've been there 95 years. The theme of their anniversary was hope, patience, and love. So we really need to think about those things, especially for our city of Romulus. We really want to embrace them attributes of our city. As a lot of people know, we've been doing a contest, Why I Love the City of Romulus, and it just plays into that whole theme of promoting positivity within our city. So I do want to shout out to First Baptist Church for 95 years. Their pastor is Reverend Carl Threed Jr., and I want to shout out to Deacon Cofield, who actually brought this to me to get a resolution completed. So 95 years, and I just want to say that I grew up in First Baptist Church. That's where I started my humble spiritual walk in beginnings, where I met the Lord, and I am so grateful for them. They have seen so many people come throughout their doors, and it's just a blessing that they're still after 95 years. So congratulations to First Baptist Church.
Okay. It's been motioned by Ms. Talley and supported by Ms. Williams for a resolution. Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, Mr. Barton. And then lastly, as I said earlier, we have been running a contest in the city of Romulus, and so we have some winners. So we got one winner who is present with us today, and I'm actually bring him up to speak momentarily. But there are two letters that they submitted a little later than I can get to them. So we're going to do a presentation for these two letters that we received on Monday, May 23rd. But I'm going to read them today because we said we was going to read them today. So we're going to read them today, and then we're going to do a presentation to these residents on Monday, May 23rd. The first resident who submitted for the contest is Linda Rodriguez, who is a Romulus resident, and she says, "Dear Romulus local government, Why I Love Romulus contest. My story begins with a thank you to the city of Romulus, school officials, teachers that made a difference in my life. 50 years ago, on April 5th, 1972, I was a 17-year-old student of Romulus High School. I had just received my Michigan State license in cosmetology, and she submitted a copy of her cosmetology license along with her submission. She said, which it was earned through a cosmetology three-year course program offered at the Romulus High School. I was one of about 25 or so students who accomplished this. We attained this before graduating high school. During my work history, being a beautician was not my first employer. Being a beautician was not my first employer. It did provide me in between jobs, I could be hired at a salon as a beautician, nail tech, and other salon services. I never worried about finding a job with this in my experience background. Also, I received 2 more state licenses in my educational efforts. The city was so advanced in bringing the school programs to their residents, and their kids have reached to provide courses to make us sustainable in being able to have earned income jobs. It made my parents very proud that I received that state license. To Mrs. Waterman and Mrs. Adi, our instructors of that cosmetology course, they instilled in us to be on time, groomed, polite in the service world. The thousands of experience I had the honor to enjoy, the people I've met along the way. My last employment was as a beautician, nail tech, was at the Delta DTW terminal, at the B Relax Spa. I was offered employment as the previous spa was leaving the terminal. I met people from all over the world, and it was a very well-compensated job. I always voted for school millages for Romulus schools. Thank you for the past city school councils, the past city local officials, and current local city officials. I am an example of what can, caps, be done for your residents. I will never forget my parents' pride of their kid. I am forever grateful. Thank you, Ms. Rodriguez. And I just have to throw this side item in. I see that we have Council Board Member Ursula Wester there. And if you remember, last week we were just talking about cosmetology at the basketball event at the high school. And and this is something that all the palliators are here. So thank you, guys. I mean, thanks for bringing that up. We need to think about these things for our schools, and we just had that conversation last week about cosmetology in our schools. So thank you, Ms. Rodriguez. Thank you, Ms. Wester. We did have a great conversation about that, and that's one of the letters we received from one of our residents. And I have one more letter I need to read into record, and this is from Leah Cholet. She said, "I love Romulus because it's my hometown. My life in Romulus began when I was 3 years old in the spring of 1968. My mother and father, Charles and Mary King, wanted to get us out of the inner city of Detroit, but needed quick access to the freeway as my dad still worked in Detroit. My mother had planned to be a stay-at-home mom and expand our family. My dad literally got in his car and drove west on I-94 until he came to what he considered to be a small town to be from, thus rediscovering Romulus, Michigan. Both of my parents were born and raised in Detroit with very crowded conditions and wanted more of a rural setting for their family to grow up in. My maternal grandparents decided to move with us, purchasing the house next door. After paperwork was signed and we were scheduled to move into McBride Street in the Wayne Clef subdivision across from Romulus Senior High School, my grandfather suddenly passed away. Their new house was sold before they ever moved in. My grandmother decided to come live with us. It was just my younger sister Lori and I when we first moved. We were soon joined by a brother and a baby sister, completing our little family. Our family flourished in Romulus. Neighbors were kind and became lifelong friends. Our streets were safe. Children of all ages and races played together comfortably. My father attended the police academy and ended up working as a reserve police officer long before Romulus had a police station of its own. He continued that path for 15-plus years. My mother became a Girl Scout leader and very involved in the community. She was a bus driver for more than years than I can remember. Both parents and my grandmother were avid bowlers in Romulus lanes. My mother successfully ran for the Romulus School Board and continued that career for over 12-plus years. Both of my parents were devout Catholics at St. Aloysius Church in Romulus. On Sundays, we'd pile in the car, head to church customarily late. After the noon mass, my mom ran the parish credit union. We would sit downstairs having donuts and cider with other gathered parishioners. Commonly on weekends, we would take the bustling streets of downtown Romulus, going to the bakery, the supermarket then called Vesco's. We would do our weekly grocery shopping. Dad and brother would get a haircut at Dave's barbershop, catching up on local gossip, while us girls would walk around town visiting the local shops and talking with friends on the street. It was mandatory to grab an ice cream at the local 5 and dime, then heading home for family dinner at 6 p.m. sharp. Eventually, I purchased land and built my first home in 1995. I live on Barth Road in Romulus ever since. My driveway has always been a bus stop for Barth Elementary, sending off my children, nieces, and now my grandchildren. Many of my family, children, and grandchildren still reside here or near. I couldn't imagine my life any other way. I truly love Romulus and the people in it. My favorite part of this story is that Romulus was everything my parents had hoped it would be. Thank you, Ms. Leah Cholet, for submitting this letter. And just all the good things. This just echoes so many sentiments about her. We just talked about this in the mayor's office. We just talked about the neighbors and just next door and people doing for each other, snow, shoveling each other snow, just doing neighborly stuff. And that's the thing for Hometown Heroes. Keep Hometown Heroes, because that's the kind of things, submissions we're looking for Hometown Heroes, good neighbors. So thank you for the people who submitted these letters. We ran this contest because our city's birthday is when, May 2nd? May 2nd? Is it May 2nd? 7th?
No.
May 7th. So that's why we ran the contest. So thank everybody for their submissions for our contest. It's our city's coming up birthday, and it's just a pleasure to have read these and just see the appreciation and love that people have for our community. And last but not least, I want to bring up a Romulus resident. He didn't do a formal submission because he didn't know what I was doing when I brought him in on this, but he wrote me a letter, and this wasn't even had anything to do with this contest. He just wrote a letter of appreciation for the city of Romulus. If Wesley Stevens can come up and bring up your lovely wife, would you please come up, please? Oh, yeah, to the podium. Thank you. And thank you for coming out.
So my letter front of y'all a couple of times talking about the property behind Huron Hills Estate. It's west of Huron Hills Estate. It's on the corner of Beverly Road and Merriman. And behind our fences on that west side, it was a total mess. I mean, they weren't cutting it, they weren't doing anything. And even over the last years, they ain't been cutting a lot. But in maybe January, late December, early January, DTE came, I called them as well, to cut the limbs off of the trees. And so when they were out there, I kind of mentioned the mess behind the fence, and they told me that if I could give them a name or something, that they could have a nice machine come through and clean there. So I'm pretty sure I gave them the name of the ordinance lady. And yeah, about maybe a month ago, they came and they cleaned from Henry Ruff all the way to Newcastle, about 10 or 15 feet behind our fence. And you can actually, if you go at the end on Henry Ruff, you can actually see all the way to Newcastle. For the first time, I've lived there 19 years, and it's never been that clean except for behind my house, because I actually cleaned about 25 feet behind just to keep it clean. We had a small dog, so I didn't want the coyotes and saltwater to eat my dog. So I made sure I started keeping it clean. But I wasn't sure if city council or who in the city was responsible. But I came to complain, so I wanted to come and say thank you as well.
Yes.
Amen. Thank you, Wesley, and thank you for showing up. And for that, can I bring up Mrs. Michelle Kraus, please? We have something for your troubles today.
And I have pictures I can show you all after the meeting, like before and after.
Okay.
Again, thank you so much.
And happy birthday
Oh, thank you.
to her,
Birthday.
to her sister. My birthday was Thursday.
It's a nice gift bag for you, and something in there for your wife too. So, appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much. Can we get a picture, guys? We can have our electors come down and take a picture. Thank you so much. Now,
Yeah, let's take a picture. Let's go.
I really appreciate it.
if you could.
Yeah.
You would love it.
Come on, Wadsworth.
Oh, I need to take a picture.
Just stand right there. That's perfect. I got wide enough angle. Alrighty, 1, 2, 3, and again, one more time. Perfect. Thank you.
All righty. Thank you to my colleagues. Thank you for the Stevens coming out. Thank you for the letters that we got. I'm sorry.
I don't want to make a comment about what you said a couple of times.
And I just want to do a shout out. Y'all see the beautiful gift basket that they received. That was courtesy of Romulus Flowers and Gift, located at 7563 Merriman Road in Romulus. And their number is 734-722-6440. Mother's Day is this Sunday. Hope to see you there. Thank you, Mr. Barton.
You're welcome.
John?
Mr. Wadsworth?
If I could just comment on letter number 2 about the King family, Chuck and Mary King, they talked about being a reserve cop. Well, that's back when I was working with the sheriff's department, and he used to ride with me on his off days. And talk about two people that loved this town. He loved being out here, he loved his house, and he wanted to get involved with the city. And first of all, anybody that would put on a uniform and don't get paid, I don't know why, but he did. and he was good, and he was concerned about what he did. And Leah is my neighbor on Barth Road. They were good people.
Thank you, Mr. Wadsworth.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Wadsworth.
you.
I want to have some council people just to say a few words.
Yes, as the honorees for the basket, I would just like to say you were dead on complaining about that issue, because I had a resident, well, several residents, but one resident the council was very aware of, Yada Phillips, and she called me, and when they were out there that day cleaning that up, she thought it was Christmas. So so it was more residents in your neighborhood that was noticing the cleanup.
And through the chair, if I may.
Yes, Ms. Webb.
I would also like to say congratulations to the letter writers, as well as I'm very grateful that you did come up and address council and administration and our other elected officials, due to the fact I'd like for more residents to contact the ordinance director or whatever department that they need information from. Contact that department, and I guarantee you will get results. And thank you so much for coming up, because we don't always get a thank you. So we appreciate that.
I'd like to say I'm proud to be a resident of Romulus.
Amen.
Romulus has a lot of good things going for the city. We just have to keep the city moving forward.
Amen.
We have to think of all the positive things in this city.
Yep.
And from this day on, let's move forward in a way that we all can be proud of. Like I mentioned, at one time I lived in different cities, Ohio, New York, Grand Rapids, different cities. And I picked Romulus over all of them. I feel safe in Romulus. I think we have a good police department, a good fire department with Chief Krause and Chief Finance. And we have a great mayor. We had great department heads, a great community. We have a great, we had the #1 clerk, Ms. Braggs, in the state of Michigan. So I'm just so proud, and Ms. Page, our treasurer, and we just a lot of good things in Romulus. I just had to bring that out. And you just keep moving forward. Let's keep positive for the city of Romulus.
Amen.
That concludes the chairperson's report.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to accept your report.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Talley, for approval of the chairperson's report. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved. Thank you.
Next, number 5, the mayor's report.
Thank you. Good evening, City Council, Madam Treasurer, Madam Clerk, Deputy Clerk, all the members of our audience here, and those at home watching on television. Before I get into my action item for tonight's report, we have a couple prestigious guests in the audience today. For those who can't see them yet, we talk about all the different wins that we're having within this community, as far as record amount of development and jobs and opportunity coming to the city, and housing coming, 100 new homes in the last 3 years as well. Great opportunities for this community to develop and grow. And it doesn't mean much if we don't grow with our schools, we don't support our schools. So we've been really trying to liaise with our schools and support them, celebrate their victories, do what we can to be a resource for our schools. Everything being in the city is maroon and white for a reason. We want to send that message that we are one community. And those are not just a tagline or just not words we use. So that being said, I would like to bring Coach Buckley up to the podium, please. So we can have one. And I'd like to read this proclamation to you. It's one of the good things I get to do about being the mayor here is proclamations, and certain days we can delineate here. So in recognition of the Romulus High School boys varsity basketball team, I, Robert A. McCray, Mayor in and for the City of Romulus, wish to express my congratulations to the RHS Boys Varsity Basketball Team for being 2022 WWAC Conference and District Champions. I am proud of your team's accomplishment and want to thank you for representing the City of Romulus. Great job, team. So give them a round of applause again. You see the guys in the back. Coach, if you'd like to say a few words about these fine young men right back here that represented our city and brought home a championship, please do.
So first of all, thank you, Mayor. It's an honor to be in front of you guys, the counselors, the council. You know, being raised and born here, and all my brothers and sisters, 8 brothers, 2 sisters went here, and it's always an honor to come back and for our young men to see you guys, get in front of you guys and show the accomplishment that they did, because with COVID and all the other things that was going on, these guys did a heck of a job.
Yes.
But listen, they always say I talk too much since I'm coaching all the time, telling them what they need to be doing. I'm gonna bring up one of my seniors. He's been with me for 3 years. He's a captain, and let him talk to you guys. So Caleb Wilson, come on up.
Hey, how y'all doing?
All right, good.
I just want to say thank you for having us come in. You feel me? I just want to say thank you for having us represent Romulus. Without you guys' support, we wouldn't be able to accomplish the district championship. I just want to say thank you. Coach Herb Buckley, Herbie, Coach Gabe, Deb, and Big Q. You know, they trained us every day in the summer hard, and you know, they built us up to win the district championship. That's all I have to say.
Thank you again.
And since Caleb and the seniors are going to be leaving us, we got 6 seniors that was awesome this year. We're going to bring up one of our juniors that's a scholar athlete. He's carrying a 4.0 GPA, so I want you guys to hear from him also.
Great, bring him up.
Hey, how y'all doing? My name is Elijah Searcy. I'd like to thank y'all for y'all support y'all gave us this year, and for my coaches, my dad, Coach Deb, and all my teammates, Herbie. We'd like to thank y'all for y'all support and how we won the districts and got far regionals, and that's just it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, thank you guys for all your support. Thank you.
Before you step down, Herb, I'd like to also acknowledge our Superintendent Witherspoon that's in the audience as well and bring him up, and also Principal Petty. And for the school board, we have President Kennard here as well, and Vice President Ursula Wester. So I'd like to come up and do a group photo with the men that come up too, if we could do this in a quick way. Capture the moment. So thank you.
What did he say?
Got bad leg.
Oh.
I think that's it. I think we're good.
I know, I'm not paying any attention to it. I'm messed up. I'm not paying attention to it, I started laughing. Interim superintendent and new principal. That was so nice. Where they have-
Okay, I only have one action item tonight for council, and that's the Michigan Homeowners Assistance Fund. I would request the council concur with the administration and authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into an attached Michigan Homeowners Assistance Fund, Michigan State Housing Development Authority Provider Participation Agreement to become one of the communities within Wayne County.
Chair, I'll make that motion to accept the Michigan Homeowners Assistance Fund agreement to become one of the communities within Wayne County.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Talley, for the MIHAL, Michigan Homeowners Assistance Fund. Discussion?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes, to the mayor, my question is, I was reading through here, and so is this program like a loan?
No, this is a program that runs through MISTA to help our residents out. So if we adopt this agreement, it'll enable our residents to take advantage of these programs that are out there for homeowners assistance right now. If they meet the criteria, it'll help them through that process.
Right, and I'm very aware of MISHA. It's been around for a while, you know, they've assisted, but, so what benefit is it to Romulus to opt in?
To be able to offer, our residents will be able to partake in this program if we don't opt in.
Well, Romulus residents are already, you know, and that's why I didn't understand it, because I've assisted several residents to get help through MISHA. It's actually called the CERA program. So is this something new? Is something new? Because MISHA been around since the pandemic, up under CERA, C-E-R-A. So, and I was reading through here, and it was saying something about a loan and they pay back. So I just wanted to make sure that we're not opting into a program with the federal government or even the state. It's saying it was, what is it, 250-something million? So what, have they decided how many communities will, how much money will go to each community? Because I know through MISHA, everybody is not qualified for it. So I just want to make sure that we're opted into a program that's actually going to benefit our residents and not, you know, hurt them.
No, this is not going to be a detriment to the community at all. This is actually $242.8 million for the American Rescue Plan Act. So it's affiliated through MISHTA, but it's through that act that the governor has allocated the $242.8 million. So it will benefit our residents if they apply and they meet the criteria. They'll be able to access those funds and have the assistance.
Right. So the requirements will go through MISHA and not the city of Romulus? Because I'm trying to understand what's the purpose of the city of Romulus opting in if everything is going through MISHA anyway? Because Romulus residents can now actually apply for MISHA now, you know, without this. So I was just wondering, what is the additional benefits?
So MISHA is a separate entity, so this is a part of the ARPA agreement, so the $242 million we're talking about. This is a different benefit that will be available to our residents if we apply to it.
So you have no idea, so the 248-something million is just for the whole, everybody that opts in?
That's to be divided up through MISHTA based on the person's financial situation, what's needed, what assistance they need. So they'll apply through the process. MISHTA will sift through it and administer those funds through MISHTA. But we won't be eligible to get those funds for our residents if we don't opt in.
Okay, so, you know, my question to again is, what part do the city of Romulus play in it, or is it all through MISHA? That's what I'm trying to understand.
It's all through MISHTA.
Okay, okay. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't a department in the city that MISHA was putting in control. Okay, thank you.
Through the chair, if I may.
Yes, Ms. Webb.
After reading through all of this, I did check off page 2, page 18 of 54, and what really came to mind was to be able to help. The providers will be helping DTE, the state, of course, and this was instituted by the governor in February 2022, and that 242.8 million was allocated to the American Rescue Plan, which covers the entire state of Michigan. But what really put a smile on my face was, once the people who are eligible to receive these benefits, that point of contact will not be with the city, it will be strictly with the state. Any monies or any funding that was given to the resident at that time in order to get them out of foreclosures or defaults or mortgage deficiencies or displacements, all that money will not be asked to be given back, but will not, if they're not qualified, they will not have to pay another dime in regards to this program. And that's what makes it different from most programs. Most programs, if the state has given in to you, then they expect something back. But with this program, the Michigan homeowners, they don't expect anything back, even though they may have gotten an eligible resident out of foreclosure or paid all the utilities or whatever, but once they've moved or, they're not obligated to pay back, and that's a big deal to me because it's very important. With this program, at least we're not putting the residents of the city of Romulus back into a hardship. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. If there's no other discussion, roll call vote. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. That will conclude my report for this evening.
Thank you, Mayor.
Number 6 is the clerk's report. And before I ask council to take action on my agenda items, I'd first like to ask if council would adopt a resolution in recognition of Carol Bales being selected as the 2022 Person of the Year.
Support.
Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Williams. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, and motion is approved.
Thank you. And again, congratulations to the Stevens family, and also congratulations to our Romulus High School boys varsity
Right.
basketball team. Go Eagles.
Right.
The first action item is for introduction and first reading of TA-2022-001, a proposed tax amendment to Section 4.01, Statement of Purpose, Section 6.03, Requirements applicable to specific uses, Section 11.01, Residential, Sections 24.05, 24.14, 24.17A, 24.19, and 24.20 definitions of the zoning ordinance. And this will be for first reading and introduction.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Ms. Roscoe?
Yes, I'd like to make that motion for TA-2022-001 for the zoning ordinance text amendment, multiple family housing.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Talley, for TA 2022-001 zoning ordinance text amendment, multiple family housing. Any discussion?
I have just
Yes, Ms.
one
Roscoe.
comment. And this is a criteria requirement for the redevelopment Ready certification through the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, and there must be certain references to varied housing types in the zoning ordinance. So it's a lot of cleanup in this ordinance, so we can be redevelopment ready. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion is approved.
Thank you. 6B, it's a request to change the purpose of the May 9th, 2022 study session approved on April 11th, 2022. At the April 11th regular meeting, council approved a study session request by TIFA DDA Director Mary Drurier for May 9th, 2022 at 6:45 p.m. to discuss the Brownfield Plan proposal. However, additional time is needed for preparation of the proposal. It is requested that council change the purpose of the May 9th, 2022 study session for a short presentation regarding the redevelopment-ready community boards and commissions, component orientation, and training strategy. Please note that the start of the study session will remain at 6:45 p.m. on May 9th.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Wadsworth.
I will move that we change the purpose of the May 9th meeting, but it's still to be held at 6:45.
Support.
Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Talley, for the change of the purpose on May 9th study session. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes?
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. 6C, we have a study session request. Mary Drurier, TIFA DDA Director, is requesting a 30-minute study session for May 23rd, 2022 at 6:45 p.m. to provide a short presentation regarding the Brownfield Plan proposal. The date and time are available for the request.
To the chair,
Yes, Ms. Webb.
I'd like to ask the clerk a question, please. So we are changing, we're not changing anything on May 9th. She just needs more time, correct? So, but she is doing one May 23rd, and I'm totally confused, so just ignore what I was just asking you. I was thinking of, when it said Brownfield Plan Proposal with Tifa and DDA, then I'm looking at what she was proposing for Tifa DDA on May 9th. I'm confused.
Initially, Ms. Drurier requested a study session to discuss the Brownsfield plan proposal for May 9th.
Okay.
And you all approved that.
Yes.
But more time is needed for that, so she has also, she has another, she's requesting, so since the date is already locked in, you already approved the date, so instead of having it for the Brownsville, the Ready Development, Community Boards and Commission component orientation, so we're kind of swapping. So we would have the study session to discuss that, and then she's requesting another date to discuss the Brownsfield. We're just switching to a new date. We're just changing the discussion of the Brownsfield plan proposal to the 23rd. And then for the 9th, we're going to discuss the community boards and commissions.
Okay.
We're just changing the purpose of the study session,
Okay.
the discussion of it. Does that make sense? Did I confuse you more? I'm
No,
sorry.
it makes sense now. It's just that I was, to me, changing it on one page would have been more, for me. Maybe everyone else understood it, but I'm the first to tell you, I'm confused. So this does not state, so Brown's field plan is the 23rd.
Yes.
Boards and commissioners, well, commissions component orientation and training is the 9th.
Correct.
Okay, I'm good. Thank you, Ms. Clerk. I knew I could ask you to explain this.
Okay, I need a second on that.
Second.
Been motion by Ms. Webb, supported by Ms. Williams, for a study session request for May 23rd, 2022 at 6:45. Did you make that? Oh, you just wanted the question, right? Okay, well, you want to make it?
So I make the
Okay,
motion
Ms.
to
Williams.
support it.
Ms. Williams will make it. And can I get a
Support.
second? Support by Ms. Roscoe. Okay, been motion by Ms. Williams, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for a study session request for May 23rd, 2022 at 6:45 PM. Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion is approved.
Thank you. The last action item is 6D, and for second reading and final adoption of Budget Amendment 2122-12. This budget amendment was introduced at the April 25th, 2022 council meeting.
Through the chair, if I may?
Yes, Ms. Williams.
I'd like
Ms. Webb.
to make that motion for second reading and final adoption of Budget Amendment 21/22-12 in the amount of $100,000 to fund unforeseen expenditures in fuel and repair accounts. And this budget was introduced at the regular meeting held on Monday, April 25th, 2022.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Webb, supported by Mr. Wadsworth. Second reading and final adoption of Budget Amendment 21/22-12. Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. That concludes the clerk's report.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Number 7 will be the treasurer's report.
Good evening. I do not have any items under my report tonight. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. And then that takes us to number 8, public comment. And this is the portion of the agenda for those member of the audience who would like to address City Council. The rules to address City Council can be found on the back of the meeting agenda. If, to address City Council, raise your hand, and after being acknowledged by the chairperson, approach the podium and state your name. Please note, members of the public who submitted a public comment card will be called upon first. You will have 3 minutes to speak, and any additional time will be upon the consent of the chairperson. As a reminder, members of the public reviewing tonight's meeting via the city's broadcast channel or YouTube Live can submit their public comments to publiccomment@romulusgov.com before the end of the public comment period. I do not have any written requests.
Okay. Any comments from the audience? Mr. Braggs?
Jesus.
Yeah, it was her birthday yesterday, and she came in to surprise me
Oh, wow.
from Washington. We got one more surprise.
Could you, sir? Could you, sir?
Oh, my goodness.
Could you please tell us your name?
Close your mouth, Ellen.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
Happy birthday.
That's great.
Away from Kansas, flew in today.
Nice.
That is nice.
You didn't know nothing about this.
Got it.
Again. So we just want to say we love you, and we appreciate
Go hug your friend.
Amen.
Go hug them. You know you want to. Might as well. Yeah, I know you're
All right.
I'll hug you after the meeting.
What's your name, sir? Sir? What is your name and address?
Name is Stan Bragg.
Okay.
28764 Burning Tree, Romulus, Michigan. My children, Elliot and Aaron, they're here.
Look at Roger. Love it.
Isn't that precious?
Nice.
Oh,
Okay.
my God.
Nice.
Well, happy birthday, belated birthday, Miss
Yeah.
Clerk. And it's always wonderful to see your family come in town.
Good job, Stan the man. Stan the man.
Okay, let me
Good
get my
break.
composure here.
I know how you feel. Wow,
Okay.
great. That is great.
Okay. We do have one request that came in through the email for public comment.
Okay.
And I'm a little emotional right now.
I
And so
understand.
I
I
really
understand.
apologize, but
Yeah.
I'm going to ask Dijon to come first. I'm so sorry because I'm a little
Yeah.
emotional. Let me get myself together.
Understandable, yeah,
I feel terrible.
yeah. Yeah.
Good evening, Council,
Good evening.
Mayor, Madam Treasurer. We do have one public comment that was received in an email. This is from Tony Heimberger. It reads, "Good evening, Council, Mayor, Administrative Staff. I would like to formally request that the City Council for Romulus put a moratorium on trucking freight, forwarding, and et cetera in our city for 6 months. Our roads are horrendous going down Wayne Road. The ruts are unbelievable, and there are many other streets in our town that have the same problem. Until we figure out a funding source to fix these roads, we do not need any additional truck traffic. So I'm asking the council to please put a moratorium on this until we can figure out how to fund and fix our roads. Thank you." Mr. Chair, there are no more emailed public comments.
No more comments? Wait. Yes?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Mayor and City Council members. My name is Rita Hampton, and I live at 31775 Augusta Drive, Romulus. I've been a resident here. I retired from teaching school for 35 years. I retired here to Romulus, but I was born and raised in Inkster. I hope you, because of that, I said that, you know where this is going. How can a city prosper when a school district is in the most public freefall and subject to continual embarrassment? Clearly, you know, but remain paralyzed to its impact. Prior to last year's city council and mayor election, only two of you, Councilwoman Talley and Webb, were willing to address the dirty laundry that being our dysfunctional school board and the chaos they have brought into the community. Public services about the needs of the public, including kids. Where have you been, I ask. We all ask. We all know that we have finally gotten a school leader. We finally had gotten a school leader with passion, energy, and expertise to stabilize our district, and he was doing just that at the most of the potential election loss. Ms. Talley and Ms. Webb fought to openly support our new superintendent and the amazing things he had done, passing an open operating millage, organizing an inaugural Romulus Community Schools golf outing, his super scoop that informed all of us, and even had the forethought to move board meetings from the very same day that clashed with your meetings, and all that he promised to do: raise enrollment, improve the image of the district, and be a destination education. And then he was gone after a showcase of foolishness, personal vendetta, and a whole lot of mendacity. So here we sit since this departure in December, with a former emergency manager serving as interim superintendent, making $6,000 a week. He is the second highest paid superintendent in the state, beyond only the superintendent of the Detroit Public School Community District, and likely the highest paid governor official in Romulus. With his expertise and networking and alignment with the board, we have an interim executive director, an interim interim of HR director, an interim of finance director, an interim of special education director, an interim of director of technology, and two interims serving an administrator of middle school and an additional law firm and a new consulting firm, all financed by us, the Romulus taxpayers. This is not a call to call Dr. Edmondson back. This is a call that what happened to get him out. As we are public servants, I ask of you, don't serve the kids and their well-being. Then who are we going to serve? If not for their future, then for the preservation of our community. You see, when you cut the head of the snake, it can live for a few more hours and slowly die. When you have a failing school district, look to your east. You will slowly suffocate the community. As Tupac say, my favorite rap artist that I taught school with, high school, I'm not mad at you, I'm just disappointed. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hammond. Any other comments from the audience? No more comments from the audience? Close that part out, Madam Clerk.
Number 9 is unfinished business. Number 10 is new business. Number 11 is communication.
I do have something to say, but if anybody, I know I've spoken a lot today, but if somebody else want to go ahead, I do have a couple of things, but I can wait.
Yes,
Ms.
I do,
Bragg?
Mr. Chair.
Okay.
First, I want to thank my family.
Yeah.
And I apologize to everyone for not keeping it together, so having to step out there. A little emotional. But I do have an announcement. May 14th is our Community Shred Day. And so we're real excited. There will be 2 trucks, paper shredding and electronics recycling. So it'll be May 14th from 9 a.m. until 12 o'clock p.m. It'll be right in front. There will be a drive-through there. So we hope that everyone will take advantage of this. This is our 2nd year, so we're very excited.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Any more communications? Any more besides?
Through the chair.
Yes,
Just one real quick, just to talk about May 14th as well. It's a big weekend for the city. We're trying to get everybody focused on clean sweep. So years ago, Mayor Burkhardt started a tradition, I think he was a council president at the time, for clean sweep. So we'll be looking for a lot of help. If you take a look around and look out your windows right now, we need to do some housekeeping. It's not just a Romulus issue, it's a Michigan issue. People are going back to littering and not caring about the roads. So hopefully we'll get a good turnout on May 14th. Come up to the historical park at 36095 Goddard Road. We start at 9 o'clock and we clean till noon, and then we're working on the details for an event to follow up with our friends at Blue Sky. So we're going to try to have some prizes there and just get a good community day to get out there and clean up our own roads and streets and take care of it. We used to have the benefit of having the work release program through the courts to help out, but the way that the state of Michigan has changed the requirements on that, we can't count on that as much anymore. So we have to clean out our own yards. So hopefully we'll get out there, everybody can pick a street, pick an area by their house, clean up, pitch in a little bit. A lot of hands make light work. So we're going to focus on that. And then also to go along with that date, we're going to have the citywide free dumping again. It's going to be at for the Romulus residents on May 12th, 13th, and 14th, Thursday and Friday at 8:30 till 3 p.m. and then Saturday 8:30 till 2. And it's at that south lot of the DPW right off of Wayne Road. So if you have those big items in the backyard, need to take care of them, bring it out for citywide free dumping days on May 12th, 13th, and 14th. And then also we hope to see you on Clean Sweep, and we'll clean our city up. Thank you.
Thank you,
Through the
Mayor.
chair.
Yes, Ms. Talley.
So a couple of things, and again, I do apologize, but we got a lot of stuff going on in our city. What can I say? So anyway, I want to piggyback. We have a citywide garage and yard sale, Romulus citywide garage yard sale on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, May 19th through the 22nd. If you want to be a part of that, registration is required. Online applications are available on the city's website at www.romulusgov.com. Rain dates are May 26th to May 29th, so if you have any questions, please contact the clerk's office. Secondly, I just want to do a thank you, Ms. Hampton, for coming out today. Appreciate your words. I know your passion. I was there at a lot of those board meetings, so thank you so much for coming out and letting us see your passion for the schools. Like you said, we have to work together as a school district and as a city to move our city forward, so thank you for coming out. And what a night to come out with our school people in attendance and everything that went on today, so thank you. Secondly, I want to just remind everybody we have National Day of Prayer. We better pray. That's all I'm saying. This Thursday, noon at the flagpole. It's serious. We need to come out and pray. And we're going to be at the flagpole at noon this Thursday. And then we want to remember hometown heroes. We were talking about good neighbors. We had the 2 beautiful Romulus letters from Romulus residents about good neighbors and all that. We have hometown heroes coming up on the 26th. Nominations are being accepted through the 11th of May. So get them in, nominate that good neighbor, nominate that person that shoveled your snow or cut your grass or just was neighborly. Just get them nominations in. May 11th is the cutoff day for that. The ceremony will be May 26th, and the ceremony is going to be held at our high school. So we want to bring everybody involved, our high school, our city, bringing them together. The ceremony will be at Romulus High School in the auditorium. And then lastly, I just want to thank everybody for the well wishes for my birthday. It's been a great birthday. I had to work, then it's a council meeting, but it was well worth it. Everybody who gave me shout outs, I so appreciate it. But I do want to say this, ending on this note, I want to thank God. Dear God, thank God for my life. I mean, He's gave me a great life. It wasn't always easy, it hasn't been perfect, but I thank God for the life He gave me. And it's been 55 years, and I am so grateful. Thank God for my life. Thank you.
Thank you.
Through the chair, if I may.
Yes, Ms. Williams.
First of all, I would like to thank Carol Mays, our planning commissioner, for staying over. Sometimes we don't, our department heads will leave once whatever they have presented to us as a council. But thank you for staying. You and Roberta are just, you're like fixtures in this council chamber. And I love it because we could have had other questions. And to Ms. Hampton, thank you. Thank you for your comments, not just to include, but also, we pay taxes here. And as a former school board member, I understand where you're coming from. And we as parents, as neighbors, as friends, as educators, we need to make a stand for our children. Our children is who is important, not the gossip, not what somebody may say about this, that, or the other. Educators, at one point in my life, were very, very well respected, and parents respected the educators. So how can we expect our children to respect their teachers if the parents don't respect them? And we do have to make a stand. I'm not a party of, we're 2 separate entities as far as the city and the school board, but the school district is in our city. So we cannot turn our backs on our school district. All we can do is put it out there, okay, if you need us, we will do everything that we can to help you, but we cannot take over the district. But hopefully, things will get straightened out, because I would like to see, a lot of people don't want to go back to where it used to be, but it's one thing that we need to go back to, and that is educating our children as well as having qualified educators. Thank you for coming.
Yes, I would like to say to Ms. Hampton, it's nice to finally put a face to the name. I've heard your name around town, And I would say, I know you congratulated Councilwoman Talley and Councilwoman Webb for attending the school board meetings, but there were once upon a time, I would say all the way back to 2009, when it wouldn't be no one in that board meeting but Ms. Williams. And so at this time, because maybe the rest of us, Mr. Wadsworth, Ms. Roscoe, maybe Ms. Abdul, I'm not for sure, didn't attend the meetings to speak on whatever was going on with the school district, it's not because we didn't care. It's not because we didn't care, because it's so many things that is going on in our city. The people elected us as city council, not school board members. And the issues with our school district been going on way before the situation with Mr. Everson came up. And so what we have to do, we have to just make sure that everyone is doing their job where the people put us. The people elected those folks over there at the board, so it's gonna take the people to do their job. You know, I mean, we have a vote, but just our vote didn't put those board members there. As council members, we have a job to operate, make sure the city is operating, not the school. And so what I do myself is try to make sure that I keep focused on where the people put me and why they put me there. So it's not because I don't care, but it's because of the situation that is going on. It's just so much, and it's so heavy to know that our system, I had to pull my granddaughter and my two grandsons out around the school district because of all the unnecessary things that was going on compared to now from when my children went to school. So I would just say to you, you know, not apologizing, but I have a job to do. The people put me here on council to do that job. And so I just pray and ask the Lord to let everything work out, you know, on our school district behalf. And I just want to say to Mr. LeDuc, because he is also a director, he stayed here also, so I didn't want you to be left out, that you're in the audience. Also, for Forgotten Harvest, I'm so excited because I partnered last week with an organization that gave us $17,000 extra of meats. And so I would like the residents of Romulus to make sure we'll be doing it for the next 3 weeks. And I'm saying literally meats where you can fill your freezer up for the rest of the week. I'm talking about chicken and salmon, and Ms. Webb benefited, she can tell you. Please come out. All you need is your name, your address, how many in the family, and we load you up. You don't need any income verification. This program will be going on for the next 3 weeks, so I ask that Romulus residents come out and please enjoy these benefits, because it's not too often that an organization would reach out and say, hey, we want to give you or your residents $17,000 worth of meat. Can you get the people here to take it? And so please, don't forget Forgotten Harvest every Tuesday for the next 3 weeks. This organization that has joined us will be there, and you need the same thing, your name, your address, how many in the family, and we'll load you up. So please spread the word, get the word out to our Romulus residents. We have residents all over Wayne County, but my job is to make sure that our Romulus residents benefit also. Thank you.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Thank you, John. Again, I would compliment the lady for her passion for the, schools, but to make the comment that she's disappointed in us up here, I've been a resident for 55 years. I've had 3 sons that have gone through the school system. I've had 4 grandkids that have gone through the school system. I've campaigned openly for millages for the school. In fact, many years ago, I went on cable TV and I got a lot of negative feed for it, but I did it because I cared about this town. I've appeared at board meetings in the past. I went there and I tried to fight for the bus drivers and the people that were employed there, that they wouldn't outsource work in the school. That's the biggest mistake they did there, the biggest mistake, because the ones that supported the school back then, they lost their jobs, and I think that was terrible. Recently, I've looked at the board meetings, and it disappoints me too, but please don't leave the impression that you're disappointed because we didn't do anything, because I've done a lot in 55 years for the school system. Thank you.
Through the chair, if I may speak, first of all, did you say that this program was only going to last 3 more weeks?
Not Forgotten Harvest.
Oh, okay, that's
Not
what I was
Forgotten
asking.
Harvest. I
Okay.
said the additional.
Oh, all the additional, oh, okay. All right, how long will it last?
Forgotten Harvest?
uh-huh.
Forgotten Harvest will be here as long as there's a need. And if you noticed with everything that's on the news, the way food is going up, we'll be here.
Okay, all right. Secondly, normally I sit here, and if anyone gets up and says, thank you, Mrs. Webb, or whatever, I don't usually respond. I just say, thank you. And as far as technology, the reason why Carol and Roberta's name was mentioned, you are here when you know, they are here all the time. And I wanted to say thank you to them, not omitting anyone. And as far as you, Mrs. Hampton, I still appreciate you. I wasn't there, I didn't vote on anything. I did speak at one evening, but I can say I've been here a long time as well. I have served on the school board. Celeste Roscoe, we have served on that school board, so you can't take it away from us. But what I can say is this: whatever we did in the past, that's in the past. So we need to get up right now and start looking at the future and helping the school board. Nobody is trying to throw shade at anybody. We're just trying to work together. So please, residents, anybody that comes in this chamber, don't comment me, don't say anything, because I'm not that type of person. I know what I have done. I don't have to prove anything. All you have to do is go to the school board, you can come visit my home or whatever, and look at my accolades of what I have done, but I don't have to say anything about it. Because when you are striving to live right and doing what is right and upholding right, I don't have to defend myself for what I do, for the school district nor the city. And I don't want anyone to think that I was throwing that out for me or Tina or whatever. You as you came up and you thanked us because we were there recently, okay? And that's all I have to say about it, and we shouldn't even be discussing what we've done or what we didn't do or how we do it or when are we going to do it. Let's just do it. Let's just get it done. We all have to work together. The city still has to work with our school district, because the city is not a city without a school district. And you can't take that away. So if the mayor wants to work with the school district, that's his job. He heads up this city. This is our job as far as the council is concerned. We help as well. This is not a competition. This is a necessity. We are speaking of our children. And I'll stand and say that in front of the White House if necessary. Thank you.
Thank you.
Communication from council? If not, number 12 is adjournment.
So made the motion.
Make a motion.
I'll support.
Okay. The motion by Ms. Williams, supported by Ms. Roscoe for adjournment. Ms. Williams? Yes. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.